In this tutorial, we'll get an introduction to methods and what they are and how to use them. So in my teaching project, I'll create a new class just for these examples called Intro to Methods. This is a class definition. We've seen this a lot of times before. The main method is a method, and so let's just type it: public static void main string args, and we'll discuss the main method later on. We'll make a constructor method, public intro to methods, which we'll also discuss more specifically later on. And inside our main method, we're just going to create an anonymous, means like nameless, object of the type that we're working with, which in this case is we've called intro to methods. So the basic structure is here we'll test methods, and below we're going to write our methods down below. So a method is just a small part of a program to accomplish a task. They're often called functions or subroutines because they're basically small little pieces of a program with specific abilities. They can usually do one very specific thing. So for instance, the way a method is structured is you give it some sort of input, and that's passed along to this like black box, we often kind of think of it as, that does something, and then that black box produces some sort of output. So the way we specify the input for the black box is, well, let's start with the output actually. The methods are written in this form generally. They're written output, and then a name, and then input inside parentheses, and then the method body, which in Java is enclosed in, and most languages enclosed in these curly braces. All languages that I'm aware of. So specifically, let's define one. So say we wanted to have a method to add two numbers together. We're just going to call this method sum. So we know the name, and we know that it needs to take in two numbers. Let's just say it takes in two inputs, or two integers as input, so int a, int b. And we know that we need a method body that will accomplish some task, but we also need to specify the output. And so we need to tell the user what type of output it produces. In our case, it's going to produce an int. So we say int sum, and then give it, that's the name, and then this is the input, returns output in that type. So we can set up in our method body, we'll say int sum equals 0, sum equals a plus b, and then let's return sum. So in this case, we take in this input, we do something with it in the method body, and then we output it. And that is the basic structure of a method. And that's enough for this video.